is a news show.
Hello and welcome to the Tuesday Philip DeFranco Show. If you are not familiar, my name is Philip DeFranco, and this show really isn't a show. It's just me talking about some of the stuff that mattered in the news today, starting with the NFL lockouts are over. Yes! Which means the NFL season, preseason, everything is on schedule. And very soon we can go back to watching men in clothes that are way, way, way too tight, hit each other and jump on top of each other, also throw a ball, and there's points involved, and it's awesome. Anyway, I'm excited, but moving on. If you've ever been to New York, you've seen lots of crazy all around you. And today's New York crazy is this guy trying to hijack a train.
No! Open the door!
And that is why I do not take public transportation and single-handedly kill the planet with my V8 engine. Also, I like that it goes vroom. But yeah, public transportation's scary. Very scary. In this particular case of crazy, a mentally ill man took a screwdriver, was trying to hijack a train, to which people on the train were like, yo, we're from New York. You don't do that. And they fucked him up, and he was arrested. He's actually very lucky he wasn't killed. New Yorkers do not take kindly to those types. In an update on Netflix, we've talked about them in the past. They recently raised their prices 60%. Their stock went up, but as of yesterday, their stock dropped 10% as they reported on their earnings, which actually was surprising because their earnings were up, their subscriber base was up, they're expanding in more markets. But Netflix has a very weird problem. They introduced a service that was honestly priced too low. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that as more people use the service, it becomes more expensive to license that content, as well as streaming that content to you. So their problem isn't a unique one. They set up their business in an unsustainable model. So they had to change. People investing in the company were like, oh shit, I heard a lot of bad things on the Twitters, and it's dropped. Plus, a lot of companies are finally realizing, oh, I can do this too. And I'm not talking about Hulu Plus. Hulu Plus is interesting. I don't think it's where it needs to be right now. Nowhere near. But the fact that ABC came out with an app when the iPad was released, HBO Go is a thing now, and it's fantastic. You have to say, yeah, there's a lot of competition. And even more so than that, I think that's where the future is. In the next 5 years, give or take 2 or 3 years, everything will be on demand. I mean, it almost currently is. Even though TV shows are broadcast live, most people just record them and they get it at home, kind of like a YouTube subscription box. Except for TV, it works 99% of the time. I mean, while we're talking about YouTube, obviously I'm biased because, it's my job. It's my hobby, but it's my job. But when someone finally opens that door and they link TV and internet, when they make the difference between the content non-existent, in the sense that I'm gonna watch True Blood, Charles Trippy, and Ryan Higa. The only difference in the content might be the length, and in 5 years, who knows? Higa and the rest might have 30-minute shows. Because if I was offered a service to specifically get HBO, maybe NBC, because they're like, hey, Heroes is back, and it doesn't suck like the second season, and I got my YouTube shows and certain things, and I just paid a certain price point, I would do that. And you're giving me access to your archive? Yes, I will do that. How that affects DVD sales, everything else, I don't know. Main point, Netflix better figure something out because every single day they become less unique. That being said, I still love you, Netflix. Thanks for all the money. But moving on to news that makes me very, very happy, I do have an internet connection. Melanie Iglesias did a thing on the internet. If you don't know who she is, well then you're not a pervert like me. She's Maxim's hottest, sexiest hometown hottie of 2010. And because I love sexy people on the YouTube, I wanted to pimp out that she has been putting out videos, specifically of her taking off clothes, putting some more on, being adorable, and then taking off clothes again. And I just thought you should know that the YouTube's got a little sexier today. And also, that if you want to check out that video or any of the content we have in this video, links in the description. But we move on to one of the weirdest stories of the day, and that is, what the Chinese type people? And you always hear these stories about how Chinese people and Korean people are addicted to video games. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm addicted. I played 5 o'clock in the morning once. And they're like, no, they're addicted. You like video games. They live video games. And that's why today's story is about a 21-year-old Chinese couple that sold their 3 children, yes, I did just say that, to fund their addiction to cafe gaming. They sold their first child for under $500, which I was like, holy shit, even Walmart couldn't charge those prices. And the second one, they got $4,600. I think they went on the internet and checked out the Kelly Blue Book, but for children, and they sold them for more. And just luckily, one of their neighbors realized what they were doing, reported them, they were arrested. But that's insane. That's a whole new meaning to toys for tots. Stole that joke. But let's move on to our final story, and that is Obama took to what he does best. Actually, that would be basketball. But to the second best thing that he does, and that is speaking to the American people. And last night he spoke to the American people about the debt ceiling. So let's break it down, oversimplify it, so maybe we can all wrap our heads around it a little more. The debt ceiling, something that all presidents at one point or another have had to raise. Bush did it about 7 times. And the whole idea is that by next Tuesday, if the debt ceiling has not been raised, America will default on some of their loans, our loans. We will no longer have a AAA credit score. Interest rates on things will go up because we're gonna have to pay back more money, and everything gets a little more fucked. That's the idea. Keep in mind, if we did default on our loans, it's not the weirdest thing. We are a country of overconsumers. Just walk into a Walmart, you will understand. But as of right now, to simplify, the reason that Democrats and Republicans cannot come up with an agreement is they both kind of want the same thing but different at the same time. Both Democrats and Republicans want to cut spending. Our spending is a big fat thing. It's disgusting. And both sides agree on that. But Obama and select Democrats say we should also tax the rich, those making more than $250,000 a year. To which I would say, it is 2011. Can we redefine rich? I mean, there is no reason that a small business trying to grow, trying to thrive, that makes less than $10 million a year should get worse tax cuts and essentially get fucked more than a company that makes $1 billion+ a year. Because I've gone back and forth on trickle down. When I had no money, I was like, trickle down's bullshit. Give me that money. When I had money, I was like, trickle down works. I'm hiring more employees. We're doing a good job. But at one point or another, for each business, trickle down loses its effectiveness. And so it's hard to say who to tax at what amount. Because the idea of trickle down, and I forget who said this, but it was you take a glass of water and you pour it downstairs. But at some point, for most companies, they decide, hey, let's put carpet on these stairs. And trickle down only goes down a few levels. And all that water gets soaked up in the carpet. And then I get to buy jets and jet skis and just really anything with jets on it. And it's awesome. And that's really the main flaw of trickle down. Because the oversimplification of trickle down is that if a business has more money, they'll hire more people. Those people will make things and work and pay taxes. But then you forget about the big thing that runs most people. Happiness. No, not happiness. Greed. And greed's a dirty word, but most good things have come out of greed. My favorite example being medicine. Greed runs that business and saves lives 80% of the time. But the main point of this story is it's too complicated to explain in 2 minutes. I personally believe in a fair tax. I'm open to other ideas because you could look back and go, oh, well, back in the day, we charged the top 2% of Americans, like 60 to 90% of their money went to taxes. Well, you can't do that. If America was the only country in the world, yeah, do that. But companies don't have to stay here. That's just like the law of economics. And you can also thank Bill Clinton for part of that. Sup, NAFTA? But guys, anyways, I've gotten sweaty from talking out of my ass. I would love to know what you think. Specifically, should it just be cut? Should it also be taxing the wealthier more? Will that fuck the little guy in the end? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And of course, because we here at the Philip DeFranco Show believe in trickle down, let's do a giveaway. And today we will give away a $200 Amazon gift card so you can buy something for yourself. Of course, to be eligible to win said gift card, 1, leave a comment on this video, possibly about our question of the day, and 2, clickety-clack that like button. Not only does it help out the show, but it lets me know you care. But anyways, as always, my name is Philip DeFranco, and you've just been filled in. You're welcome. And I will see you tomorrow. And I mean, Amy Adams, awesome, but that's also because she's such a great actress, and I want my mouth on her at some point, maybe, if that's cool. Bitches, shut up! You stupid, ugly bitches, shut your face.